What's going on down there? This is incredible.
The world's losingest coach and his no-help assistant go to Africa and find a one-man athletic team in Walt Disney Productions' movie comedy, The World's Greatest Athlete.
You better get going.
It's super movie comedy. Walt Disney Productions.
Now showing at the Radio City Music Hall. Rated G.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
But I think...
Furthermore, you can all go fuck yourselves.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Oh, we're gonna do it live.
Sucks!
Because that's what we do.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
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 Welcome to Moviesucktastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What's up, Joey?
I am so fucking tired.
You know, I'm with you. It's been that kind of day. I feel...
Day?
What?
Day? Oh, it has been a whole week. All I can say is that my upgrades go on hiatus for the summer in 2 weeks. And you know who did that? This guy. Because I could have put the upgrades through the entire summer, and I decided not to do that. Thank Christ. Oh my God. Anyway. So, we're going to review a movie tonight.
Yes, we are.
And I apologize in advance. That's all I'm saying. Now, last week it was our 300th episode, and we gave everyone. I feel like we might have to explain this for 2-3 podcasts, for the new format.
Okay.
So, do you want me to do it, or you want to do it again?
After you, sir.
Okay.
Let's see what your take is on it.
All right. So, the old format had us challenging films to each other that had to be connected in some way. So, for instance, I challenged Scott to, I don't know, we'll say Caveman, which I did twice. Scott would have to challenge me something that was connected to it in some way, whether it be an actor, actress, director, writer, someone who made the fucking music. It would have to be connected in some way. It could also be in such a way that it reminds you of another film. It's like, oh, I'm watching this movie and I keep thinking of this movie. That counted as well. So we've been doing that for years, and it's been working really well for the show. And we might go back to that format at some point. But the new format is starting with the year 1973, which is the year of Scott's birth. The challenges work in the way of we're challenging by year. So Scott challenged me, Scott challenged me to a 1973 film, and I have the option to stay within that year or if I feel that that year is done, like I have nothing else I think that year has to offer, I can move us to 1974. Right. So on and so forth until we come to present day, which at that point I imagine we would change formats again or go back to the original format. So tonight, my challenge to Scott of the World's Greatest Athlete kept us in 1973. Will Scott keep us in 1973 again? Or will he move us to 1974? We're going to find out. Now, there are, from what I could see, a couple of other movies that would absolutely fit the Moviesucktastic format in 1973. So I wouldn't be one bit surprised if we stayed within the year. But I would also welcome moving into the new year. So that's basically the format. And now that everyone's caught up, The World's Greatest Athlete by Walt Disney Productions. Was this their first? Well, I know they made other live-action movies, but was this the first one that didn't have animation or some sort of animation in it?
No, they were doing that for a long time. This was actually released to celebrate 50 years of Disney making stuff.
No, I know that, but I'm talking about live action because like Bedknobs and Broomsticks and things like that. It always had.
Not everything they did was animated.
Well, Bedknobs and Broomsticks was not completely animated. It had some animation in it.
My answer remains the same, sir.
Okay.
This is not new to Disney making a live action film.
Okay. Did they do Old Yeller? Was that Disney?
I think so.
I mean, that could. Okay. I don't know if I don't know if they did Old Yeller.
I don't know either. As I say, I think so. Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I can find out. So, but anyway, so Scott wasn't too. I can't say he wasn't too thrilled with the idea, but then warmed up to it. Do you still feel that way? I
don't like doing kids' films because it's kind of hard to criticize a film that's meant for that audience because they're not really trying to go high. But you quickly reminded me to the inherent racism of the basic theme, and I was in. And I do have a soft spot for Tim Conway. And dude, way to pick a film where almost everybody in it's fucking dead.
including the tiger.
Tim Conway and Jan Michael Vincent both died this year.
Yeah.
Just thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks for that.
I didn't intend to do that, but it happened.
I mean, I think like John Amos and Dale Hatton are the only ones that are still alive.
Yeah.
Maybe
that guy Leopold, I think, is still alive. I did look him up today because I was like, he looks so goddamn familiar, and he looks more familiar than his resume of films.
That's like Roscoe Lee Brown's dead too, as well. The Godfather.
Correct. So I looked up Leopold, and I'm like, this guy looks so goddamn familiar. And
Scotty, he's dead. What's her name? The landlord, the nearsighted landlord.
Right.
She was in every other film. She's dead.
Wasn't she in Laugh-In? Was she in Laugh-In?
No, you're thinking of Ruth Buzzy.
Oh. You could trade heads with these two.
Yeah, there's a bit of an overlap there. I'll give you that.
Yes, Old Yeller was Walt Disney Productions. So my mistake.
Also,
Ruth Buzzy. My God.
Interesting was that John Amos, and I got to look up the name now because I forgot. John Amos was not originally supposed to be the lead actor.
Oh no.
No. Give me 1 second because I lost my note. So I just have to look something up here. Originally, it was supposed to be Godfrey Cambridge, who I don't think you'll recognize the name, but we reviewed another one of his films on the show.
Oh, the Watermelon Man.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you got that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Godfrey Cambridge was supposed to be the lead in World's Greatest Athlete.
Wasn't he dead?
He's dead now, yes.
No, I thought he died by the time this movie was made.
No. He collapsed on set like the first couple days of shooting.
Oh, and
he died like 4 years later.
Oh, so he collapsed and then they replaced him.
And so they brought in John Amos.
Well, you think that would have been a sign? It's like maybe I should take better care of myself. I don't know. It just collapses on set, and 4 years later, dead.
Yeah, and then I would think this is the last film of what's his face, the guy that played Dean Maxwell, Billy DeWolf. I think he died like after this.
Oh yeah. Old school actor.
Oh yeah.
God, he died a year later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was his last film. Like,
Fuck.
that was it. So yeah, a lot of death in this film. Now you mentioned the tiger, so let's do the basic story. Is that John Amos is a coach for a college.
He's a terrible coach.
He's a terrible coach.
Multiple sports. Who he manages to recruit the worst players, or he gets the worst players.
Right, they're all bad people. Tim Conway is his horrible assistant coach.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So
assistant coach.
after like numerous losses with no chance of success, they decide to get away from it all and they go to Africa.
Yeah, he wants to go to the homeland. He wants to clear his head.
Yeah, this is where now you have quite a few veteran actors,
Right.
black veteran actors, that you would imagine if they had a major problem with this,
Right.
might have said something.
Yeah.
Now, in John Amos's case, this film was kind of a big break for him. He wasn't really like a lead star at this point in his career.
No, he hadn't gotten.
So, yeah. So
what was the show the TV show that he did in the 70s where he became
Good Times. Good Times.
That's it.
As the father on Good Times. Now, Roscoe Lee Brown was a name by then. I mean, he'd been in a ton of stuff.
Right.
So
I believe he was also on Good Times with him.
possibly, I think every black actor was on Good Times at one point during that time period. What other outlets were there? You didn't have.
That's correct.
The diversity was even worse back then. So, like, you wonder if they just grinned and bared it, or if they were okay with it. I mean, it's not overt. It's not like they're putting blackface on people, but like they go to Africa and they have like the green screen projections of the animals, and John Amos is talking about, I want to go back to my roots. It's like, all right, first of all, roots, okay. All right, we know that's okay, that's there.
Yeah, well, and John Amos, wasn't he in Roots too later on?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And he says, my great grandparents came from here. I was like, yeah, dude, they did by force. What are you talking about? How? Yeah, he says it so casually, and I'm like, slavery. That's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable with it. Tim Conway's there.
Tim Conway is the comic relief throughout the entire film, and thank God for him.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't for Tim Conway, this film would have been, not that it was enjoyable. I mean, it was okay, but if it wasn't for Tim Conway, cringe-inducing. So,
they go to Africa, and there they spot Jan Michael Vincent out racing a cheetah.
Which maximum speed of a cheetah is like 70 miles an hour.
Right.
And of course, no, they're not saying that's what it is, but it's like, dude, this guy is the fastest person on earth.
Right. So they decide they have to recruit him. Wacky shenanigans of American white people and John Amos in Africa.
Essentially, the way it works out in the bush, jungle, whatever, is if you save a person, if a man saves another man's life, he is basically chained at the hip to that person for the rest of their life. So John Amos gets this grand idea of tricking Nanu into thinking he saves his life so that he could take him to America.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. His name's Nanu.
Nanu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does that and tricks Nanu into going to America so that he could enroll him into college, so register him so he can compete.
It's bad enough that they go to Africa and recruit a white guy.
Yeah, right.
That's bad enough. But he has a pet tiger.
He's got a pet tiger.
Tigers don't come from Africa.
Well, they do explain in the film that
They give a line that explains why there's a tiger in Africa.
Because it came from India and was brought there when it was a cub, and he raised them since he was a little kid.
His missionary parents brought it, and they're the ones that died, and that's why he's still in Africa.
That's right. So he brings the tiger to America.
Right. Now, the tiger, obviously, they had a tiger.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Disney had a tiger.
Disney had it. Well, here's the thing with the tiger, and I want to mention this before we go any further.
Yes.
As with most wild animals like that will rip your fucking face off.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene on the airplane, where Tim Conway Milo breaks the news to John Amos's character, Archer, that he brought the tiger with him. And John Amos was like, no, he didn't. He goes, yeah, he did. And they go to the back, and he's hanging out with his tiger, Harry. His fucking name's the tiger, Harry. And Nanu is like, Harry, he doesn't like plane ride. Harry, nervous. It's like, dude, Nanu, Harry's fucking sedated. Okay? That fucking tiger sedated heavily through this entire movie.
I disagree totally. There is
one scene in this movie where that tiger's tongue is hanging so far out of its fucking mouth.
Yeah, but
there is no fucking way that tiger was not sedated this whole movie.
If the tiger was that sedated, it wouldn't have been running around and playing with it that much. This was obviously very well trained tiger that they had on hand.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
That was a very well sedated tiger that under normal circumstances would fucking bite you. Like, there's a scene where that tiger is biting Jan Michael Vincent's neck playfully.
Head.
Yeah.
His head is in his mouth.
And I'm like, if that tiger wasn't sedated right now, Jan Michael Vincent would have been dead in 1973 instead of 2019.
No, see, I this is where I part with you here. Now, I did research trying to find out about this tiger. He's not even listed in the credits.
No.
I couldn't find out anything specifically about this tiger. I'm looking up interviews. I'm looking up old things about animals in Hollywood.
I should have taken screen caps every time I saw this tiger sedated. Because
dude, you're wrong.
It
wasn't always
sedated. Fucking right.
This was I did find one article written by an animator who visited the set multiple times, and this was not a sedated tiger. This is a tiger that was trained from a cub by a professional trainer, and it was a very docile tiger. Now, makes no difference to me. I'm not putting my head in its mouth.
No.
But but that's what I read.
And you know why that tiger was docile? Because he was fucking sedated.
No,
that's why.
You're not getting the movement you got in some of
those. There's a
scenes.
shot of this tiger in the stands right now. His eyes are so just like he looks high.
Yeah, well, that scene, yeah. When the tiger's wearing clothing, sitting in a chair, yeah, they probably got him sedated. But the scenes where Jan Michael Vincent is wrestling with it, running around with it, it's not sedated. It wouldn't be playing. It wouldn't be playing.
I didn't say that those scenes were. I said that.
You said every scene. You said every.
I did not say every scene.
Holy shit! Well, good thing we got this recorded. You said there's not one scene in this film where that tiger's not sedated.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Fine. Then I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to stick to that then, because I don't believe for 1 second that tiger is. It's playing a lot less hard. It's playing much more softly because of just give him a little bit, just sedate him a little bit.
I don't see why you feel so strongly that Disney filmmakers wouldn't be that reckless in the 70s to just let a tiger run around. That's right in line. And what I thought was funny is I read that all the scenes they shoot in Africa,
right?
They were shot in the Disney safari.
Oh, of course it was.
Of course it was.
At least they didn't spray paint the tiger black and kill it.
Yeah, right. But that's what I was
That's a
saying. is, like,
Beastmaster reference, everyone.
that's what I'm saying is like you know they just had a tiger. It's like, oh, we got this tiger. It's trained. We can play with it. We have a tiger, and then we're like, well, tigers don't come from Africa, so don't worry, we'll make it work. That was an afterthought, I guarantee. So he brings them back and he trains them how to play all the games. A lot of montages in the film. A lot of montages.
Yeah.
Almost as many montages as The Sting. Almost.
Although The Sting is an Academy Award-winning film.
That is. Yes, it is.
I love it. And like the team or the college that he plays for is what was
Maryvale.
it? Maryvale. And yeah, there's a shot right here where this fucking tiger's tongue is sticking out of his mouth.
Yeah?
So fucking sedated.
They do that.
Hold on, I gotta move my picture out of the way. Look at this motherfucker. Look at him. Dude, sedated. Look at this. Sedated. Wait, hold on. Right there. Sedated. Wow. So fucking sedated.
No, I think you're way. I think you're putting way too much weight on the sedation.
Do you see this? Sedation. I'm glad I got my picture out of the way so everyone could see how fucking sedated the tiger was in that show.
Well, let's see how sedated he was when he had Jan Michael Vincent's head in his mouth.
Yeah, only a little sedation on that one. They just gave him a little bit just to take the edge off, so that he wouldn't kill anyone.
You can't constantly sedate a tiger like that.
You ever see the movie Roar? No sedation. That is a movie where I'll say no animals were sedated during that movie.
Yeah, but they weren't raised from cubs.
Yes, they were. All of those fucking tigers were.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were. That was what those fucking psychos did.
No,
they fucking got all of those tigers from cubs and raised them in the natural habitat.
They weren't. I said raised by a trainer.
Well, I mean, come on.
There's a huge difference than just like.
There is a difference. I'll give you that. But all of those were raised as fucking from cubs, and they're fucking crazy as shit.
Until you could show me evidence, documented evidence that they sedated that tiger.
And you know I can't. So come on. What are you drinking there? What is that? Fuzzies?
None of your business.
None of your business. Oh, it's not for me. It's for our listening audience.
I'm just sedating myself.
I wish I was sedated.
Now they're followed from Africa by Nanu's witch doctor godfather.
What year did
Which is a witch godfather? Godwitch father?
Godwitch, yeah.
Godwitch father, yeah.
Yeah.
What year what?
I was gonna say Mork and Mindy. What year did that come out?
I don't know. It was after 73 because I remember when it premiered. And I was born in 73, so
yeah.
It was after.
So it's like that whole thing he used to say, Nanu Nanu. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe that's like 79 or 80. Off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, it's definitely 70s.
What? Who?
Mork and Mindy.
So that's 79 or 80.
Yeah. No, I don't think it premiered. I think you're right. You're more correct saying it's 79.
Okay.
Than it premiering in like 1980. I'm saying you're right. It's a 70s show. It might have poured into the early 80s, but why are you looking at me weird?
So his witch godfather follows him.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back. You're giving me a look.
I don't care what year it came out in. Let's talk about
Apparently
the movie.
So. I'm sorry. I'm just a little trippy right now.
I think we both are.
I'm lack of sleep. I'm overworked, and I'm trying to I'm trying to review this shitty movie.
Gazinga.
Gazinga, yes.
Gazinga. That's the name of the witch doctor.
Godfather. Yeah.
Godfather, right.
Yes.
Played by Roscoe Lee Brown, probably with as much nobility as you possibly could in that role.
Right, yeah.
And I leave it. It's like they knew it was racist too, but like was a racist where it was like an empowering racism, like when what's the kid's name? The dean's son.
Oh, Leopold.
Leopold, played by Danny Goldman, who was bugging me. I recognize this kid.
Well, I said that when we first started the show. And I'm like, this fucking guy, it's bugging me because I know, and I had mentioned earlier in the show that I said his resume of film is so small that what I actually ended up recognizing him from was just like, holy shit, that's what I recognize him from, but it's like nothing I would have thought of first.
Oh, it's
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. What it was, medical student, I think that's his actual title.
Yeah. He's like a poor man's Bud Cort.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Because I spent the first couple minutes watching, goes, that's not Bud Cort. No, that's definitely not Bud Cort.
No, it's not Bud Cort.
No, that's not Bud Cort. Who is
Nope.
it? Because it's not Bud Cort.
Oh, there was another shot of a sedated tiger.
Yeah. So they make that weird. They forced this like Disney level lovers triangle with Jan Michael Vincent and his vapid tutor.
Yeah, she's got like
Jane.
She's got a boy's name, like her real name. What was it?
Jane.
Dale Haddon.
Dale. Yeah, Dale Haddon.
I'm just saying, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a real chickie name.
And Leopold's got the hot spurs, so Leopold maneuvers the Godfather to come back and try to put the kibosh on.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that he has the hots for her, but she could totally give two shits about him. From even watching the movie, it almost they had no interaction in the movie at all, if I remember correctly.
Well, he's a possessive little freak. That's why.
But
probably never said two words to her. But if he can't have her, nobody can.
Well, yeah, I mean that's obviously where they were.
Meanwhile,
going
she's
with that.
throwing herself at Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy.
Yeah. Oh, this is how they kiss. Oh,
here, listen. Oh, look, let's go into this medical book and talk about muscles because you have lots of them.
Oh, let me show you on your. This is where your muscle. Oh, can I feel that? Can I feel? Shameless.
Trapezoid
hussy.
right here. Then
Such a hussy.
the rhombus and the biceps.
Harry was right to be jealous of that girl because she didn't deserve him.
No.
Yeah. No, but I liked when Gazinga comes and they say, "Oh, we have to give them. We can't wait to show the a real what? Real witch doctor." He goes, "Oh, a real witch doctor. Hold on." And he puts the bone in his nose.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my. And they play. I mean, Disney played it right to an extent. They put him in with all the college professors, and he's running circles around them, wits wise,
right?
Wits wise. You know, just cracks. Oh, we're trying to draw more doctors to Africa by construction. Oh, building more hospitals? No, more golf courses.
Yeah, and I like the other one. I like the one he said right before that, where he says, "Oh, what are you working on now?" "Well, I'm working on a cure for the common cold. I have a $20,000 grant." "Oh, really? For what?" He goes, "To shut up." Because that's a very true statement. If someone was working on the cure for the common cold, they would probably pay them to shut up. Billions lost. Billions.
And the fact that the witch doctor comes to America gives us the big scene that the only thing I remembered about this movie is from a kid was when he tracks down Tim Conway trying to find out where Nanu is and shrinks him to 3 inches tall.
Yeah, that's where they spent all their money.
Oh, like what was that? Like
that scene was like 10 minutes. That wasn't very long, but it was like a solid 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, they paid the money and they milked the scene, definitely.
Yeah.
But they have him in a giant rocks glass, and he climbs out of the giant straw, and he falls in the lady's purse.
Yep, in the purse, and he goes to the giant phone, and when he falls out of the glass, and he slides down the straw. It's a bendy straw too, so I mean even the straw bended pretty good. I'll admit that it was a pretty good bendy straw, even though it was probably all made of like fabric and conduit.
And I gotta tell you, the one thing that drove me insane during all the Tim Conway, the 3-inch Tim Conway scenes, was that in order to create some kind of continuity, because they had to take multiple takes, they kept cutting to Dick Wilson.
Yeah, drunk Dick Wilson.
Right. And what's even worse is it's easy to forget watching that scene. That's the Sherman's guy.
Oh, is it?
That's Don't Squeeze the Sherman. That's Dick Wilson.
You know, my father still says that line to this very day.
Of course he does.
Yeah, well, he does.
Saying, of course he does.
Squeeze the Charmin.
Oh, by the way, yeah, Dick Wilson,
Dead.
also dead. Yes.
But he's probably dead 20 years.
Come
Come on.
on.
If he died like within the last 5, then I'd be like, okay, maybe you're onto something. Oh, look, another sedated tiger.
2007.
His fucking tongue sticking out of his head.
He was 91.
2010. Wow.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago.
Now, I love this. I love the scene. I just love Tim Conway doing the pratfalls. You can, and I was reading too. There's a lot of stuff that didn't make it on screen. Like Tim Conway, like there were scenes where he had to run by guys with spears in the jungle, and every time he'd run by, he would actually like make a comment instead of just running by, and he kept cracking up the actors.
Oh, really?
And like he wouldn't stop.
He wouldn't stop, huh?
And I think like the scene, I think I know. There's like one scene like where they're heading to the witch doctor, and there's 2 guys there, and one of them is in front of a drum because Africa, and he doesn't even stop. He just looks over and says, "Any messages?" and just keeps going. And it's like that's the one that made it because no one laughed finally. But what I'd give for like an hour of outtakes of him just fucking with the
well, yeah, I mean, he's Carol Burnett alumni. I mean, like the timing on him has always been great. Even when he was doing as stupid as they were, what was it? Dorf. Yeah. I mean, when he was doing shit like Dorf, it's just like still, yeah, it's silly and stupid, and he sold a lot of those fucking tapes too, because those were all like to purchase. There wasn't to rent. You had to buy those.
Well, it was golf too. Those golf people have no sense of.
Well,
what do you? They're the businessmen with no personality, and like nothing else going on in their lives. So when their loved ones have to get them something, all they can do is get them something related to golf. That's the only thing they do besides like, destroy companies and fuck other people over in board meetings.
Right.
At least that's the way I see it.
Wow.
So, no, seriously. Fuck golf. That's all I had to say. Really.
I really have no problem with golf.
No,
It sounds like you have a problem with people who play golf because of a certain, observation and perception of said person by you.
No, of golf, just in general.
Have you ever played golf?
Fuck no.
Me neither.
But
I want to.
Apparently, they were talking about doing a sequel to this, but it wasn't received well.
It made enough money.
Yeah, but it didn't get the attention they'd wanted. Critically, it was mixed, and the premiere they did in New York didn't go well. Like it was not liked. They had a much better premiere on the West Coast. Surrounded by their own people. Those New Yorkers. What do they know?
There's a shot of Jan Michael Vincent that you found for this movie where he's like really, really buff.
Oh yeah.
Like, was that? Do you know anything more about that shot? Was that like later?
It's promotional still.
Well, because he's probably like 20, 30 pounds leaner than he was in that. I mean, like he's totally ripped in there, but in the actual film, he's like very, very cut. Like we're talking like maybe 2% body fat.
Mm-hmm.
Like the promotional still that you found, it's like he's more bodybuilder-ish.
No idea.
Oh, okay. Because it almost doesn't even look like him. It almost
might have been just a good day.
A good day.
Just a good day in front of the camera. That's all it takes.
Well, I'm wondering if he lost weight, or got more cut for the movie.
Maybe while they were making the film. Who knows?
I don't know. Well, he had super short hair in that shot, so I don't know if it was before or after. But
so they take the tiger and they put a hat and a coat on it.
Yeah. And there's a shot where the tiger is in the coat and the hat, and then there's a shot where it's obviously a dummy. It's just a fake tiger.
Oh, we mean the one where he's actually walking? Yeah. But I even like it where he's on some kind of rolling cart and they're next to him and they're acting like they're walking
they're
him.
just rolling him. Probably sedated so he wouldn't keep trying to jump off.
You know what? In that scene, I'll give it to you. Possibly sedated.
Possible? Come on.
Or it was full. They ate
Dude,
an extra.
They did not give a flying fuck about animals for the longest time in
They also
movies.
they really didn't give a shit about actors either. Let's be fair.
Well, this is true, but animals way at the bottom.
Right.
It's like sedate that animal so we could shoot this scene. Thank
Again,
you.
I'm not seeing it, but okay.
You're not seeing it. Maybe you should watch the movie again.
Don't start with me. Don't do that to me.
Let's start with you all night, baby.
That's not necessary.
It sounds like it is.
But someone said, it's like someone said, let's put a hat and a coat on the tiger.
Right.
And they were like, great, let's milk this shit.
Yeah, because later in the film, when he's doing the track meet, fucking Tiger's in the stands with his girl, and it's just like nobody notices that it's a tiger.
Well, Vito Scotti kind of notices.
He took the hat off.
But then he put it back gently. He's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. He was like, I'm sorry, sir.
There's got to be a solid 10 minutes of Tiger in a hat in this film. Solid 10 minutes.
It's easily I don't
Easy.
know. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there.
And then the voodoo stuff, and like not just the shrinking part too, but with like the voodoo dolls where they kept throwing them. I gotta tell you, very impressed by the wire work.
Yeah, well, especially the one in the bedroom with Tim Conway.
Oh yeah.
That was when I was watching the scene, I didn't remember how good it was until I rewatched it yesterday.
Yeah. It was
And I actually genuinely found the scene funny too.
well, it's Tim Conway.
Because of Tim Conway. Like he grabs one of the lampshades off the bulb and he uses it like a horn. He's like, whoop!
And then he puts it back
Then
on.
he puts it back on.
But
But they milked that scene too. They did that like 4 or 5 times.
it's I mean really the miniature shots of Tim Conway's 3 inches tall and those wire work pretty damn good considering the year.
I have to fucking admit, yeah. Pretty fucking good.
They weren't Disney for nothing, you know?
No, I know.
I mean, of course, you know, granted there's the like the grainy blue screen shots when they're in Africa. I was like, "Oh, yeah, but
Wow.
you know, they hadn't perfected that technology
Well,
yet.
think about
Wire work, they had down.
the one shot that they had where he kicks the field goal in the wrong direction, but it turns out
that.
to be like it's a 90-yard field goal.
Yeah.
That looked awful.
Yeah. You really take CGI for granted these days. You see something like that, it's like, that's the best they could do.
Well, yeah.
I know,
Well,
it
think
was.
about
It
it.
was
Think about it. Only 6 years later. No, I'm sorry. 5 years later, because Superman came out in 1978. 78, right? Yeah. With Christopher Reeve. Where he kicks the football. And it looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you even just compare it, it's only a 5-year difference.
I don't think they had the budget that Superman did.
No, but it
Let's
was.
be fair.
I mean, it was Disney, though.
Yeah. But I mean, the practical effects is, I think, where they shone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's that's fair to say. I think the film pulled off some visual effects. I mean,
There's a shot of Tim Conway with the big giant prosthetic hand, like picking him up, like when he's trying to make the phone call or after he made the phone call, and it's just promotional still,
right?
And it's Tim Conway with a giant phone next to him and 2 fake fingers, a thumb and a forefinger, and it's like it looks really good for the time and for probably the budget that they had to do it with. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't call the film racist. I would say this day and age, it would be considered maybe a little racially tone deaf.
Yeah.
What?
I'm trying to think of the term. Racially inconsiderate. That might work. Just like we didn't mean any harm by it. It was like it was all in good fun. Kind of thing.
Hey, and like I said, I thought the scenes with Roscoe Lee Brown really, sold that which side they were rooting for.
Yeah.
It was definitely a pro black, pro anti-white rich guy
Yep.
vibe in that professor's room. They didn't. He was in control.
Yes, he was.
John Amos is the head coach, and Tim Conway, the little white guy, is his sidekick. Hey, I think we got a lot going in the right direction here. Again, just when he's in Africa, talking about how his grandparents came from here. It's like dragged from here. It's like, that's the part where I'm a little uncomfortable. But and all the whole witch doctor thing. Oh, yeah, okay, but that's the thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when he says his grandparents came from there, I mean, if you take the time period,
but again,
it's probably not a slavery thing, like the time period.
No, yes, it is.
No, like take John Amos's age. Let's say he's 30.
Great grandparents. He said.
Did he say great grandparents?
Yes.
Or did he say grandparents?
He said great grandparents.
If he said grandparents, definitely not slavery. If he said great grandparents, probably.
Any relative he said he came from there, I would bet good money that it's a slavery thing. It's not like they immigrated. This is the 70s.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
He didn't have the accent. I'm not.
He didn't have the accent. Well, it was funny because Tim Conway goes, "I thought you were from Ohio." Or Cincinnati, or something like that.
Hey, you're from Cincinnati. I said, no. My great grandparents came from here on a boat with a lot of other people.
Oh,
yeah. But again, that's like the part where I was like,
Yeah.
You kind of wish they just addressed it. That's where your people dragged my great grandparents from, and that I don't know. Just maybe.
As a film, its plot, there isn't much there.
No,
it's just, it really is about a coach down on his luck. He happens to find what supposedly is supposed to be the greatest athlete in the world, brings him back to America, has him compete in a bunch of shit. Godfather wants to bring him back, and Leopold, the love interest, wants him out because there's a
minor character arc for most of the characters. It's really just an excuse to do fun special effects and have a tiger run around with a hat on and have Jan Michael Vincent do a bunch of sports stuff.
Yeah. And Jan Michael Vincent, to no one's surprise, decides to go back home, but he's taking Jane because this is a Tarzan-esque film.
Yeah.
Tarzan, Jane, her name's Jane. Get it?
I got that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Takes her back home with him, and John Amos, he's like, when he wants to get away, like Tim Conway's like, man, when you want to get away, you get away.
Yeah.
Because he goes to China, and there's a donkey or a pony running like really, really fast, and then there's this, what was his name? Chin Yang or something like that. He goes, oh, do you see how fast that pony is? And he's, oh, not as fast as Chin Yang. And then, of course, they go running after that guy to try and recruit him next. If there was a sequel, that's probably what it would have been, because...
Well, they were talking about doing a sequel with Jan Michael Vincent.
Oh,
and
really?
It probably would have involved him coming back to do the Olympics.
Oh.
But, like I said, never happened. I mean, as far as the Disney films go, it's just a little...
Not for nothing, but if they could have made like 3-4 Bad News Bears films, they could have made another one of these.
I don't know.
This movie it made $22 million. That's a lot of fucking money in 1973.
To Disney?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a lot of fucking money, considering this movie probably cost less than $10 million to make, even in the 70s.
Yeah.
Easily. So. All right.
I just wish I could have found out more about the tiger.
I was looking myself, and I was like, because, after the whole Beastmaster thing, I mean, Beastmaster came out in what, like 1982? Something like that? It's like almost like 9 years after this movie. It was movies like Beastmaster where if some shit went down with, the animal, they mistreated them, they spray painted them, this animal died on set. After that shit that happened with that Siberian tiger and Beastmaster, that stuff was well It was easier to find, and it was well documented. So,
This film does not have a parent's guide.
it's rated G. I know that from the shitty TV spot that I played to begin the show, which, by the way, it's a TV spot and it cut itself off. It was showing like the 1 minute TV spot trailer, and there was plenty of time left in this thing, and it cut itself off. It was like playing at the blah 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 rated G, and it was like, what the hell? I had to fit it into that 30-second spot, because even in the 70s, 30-second spots were how they were doing that stuff.
But this film really needs a parent's guide.
No parent's guide, huh?
No, and like there was sexual undertones to the
tension?
scenes. People were drinking. There was alcohol consumption.
Oh yeah. I mean, he fell into a glass full of whiskey, right?
Right. And let's not forget, like...
And doesn't he start drinking some of it a little bit, too, when he's in the bottom of there?
I don't remember that. He might have just been choking. And let's not forget the whole witchcraft thing. I mean, come on. This is begging for a parent's guide.
Taglines. He's a winner. He's a swinger. He's dynamite.
How did this not become a TV show?
Yeah, right?
You know why? Because they couldn't sign the tiger. I will bet you.
The tiger was too fucked up.
That's slanderous. That's slanderous what that is, sir.
He's slurring his speech.
All right.
Couldn't write his name. Yeah, look at this. PG.
Yeah, I mean,
United Kingdom is a U rating.
Honestly,
G.
I would watch this again, but I would fast forward to the Tim Conway parts and the Tiger Hat parts. I mean, really, it's...
Yeah, definitely.
You know... but, I mean, you know, nothing else to say really on that. It's just your typical Disney grindhouse. I mean, this was actually released as the 50th anniversary. This was the first film released for the 50th anniversary of Disney.
Wow. Yeah, it came out February of 73.
Mm-hmm.
So...
yeah, IMDb has it at 5.7.
Yeah.
It's a solid 5.
It's a 5 for sure.
Solid. Now, so moving out of it, I don't think anything else to say about it.
Nah.
No. Tim Conway's funny. Everyone likes tigers and hats, and everybody's dead.
Yeah, everyone's dead.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Totally dead.
Well, it's 73. We're gonna get a lot of that.
We could be well into the 80s, and we're gonna have casts for movies that is like, most of these people are dead.
Well, and actually, death's gonna play a lot into my challenge to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're sticking in 73.
Yeah.
So
can I guess right off the bat, because it's a film that I was thinking about challenging to you instead of this, but I figured if we were staying in 73, you might just challenge it to me anyway.
All right, I'll risk it. I have a big reveal, but go ahead.
Is it Day of the Dolphin?
No, that was close.
Okay.
You know what the game changer was for me?
What was that?
I couldn't find the book it's based on.
Oh, okay.
It's out of print and it's not on Kindle, so I'd have to find a used copy somewhere. I'm not fucking with that.
Okay.
But it is because you sometimes you lean towards this stuff, like the Disney films or the things that are a bit wackier. I like the punch up. I like the swing at the big guys. I
don't do that every time.
I know. I didn't say every time. But it's I kind of like to take these films that 40 years later, everybody's like, oh yeah, that was a classic. And like Rosemary's Baby, that was,
Right.
I believe that was my challenge.
So I think I know what movie you're going to challenge me to.
Let me just finish what I'm saying.
No. I'm going to let you finish.
See,
but I'm pretty sure I know what it is because it was my other choice other than Day of the Dolphin. So go ahead.
So, this is one of those films that involves punching up, so to speak. Just taking a film that everybody just accepts as a classic, but when you look back, a lot of that's just left over from people just being excited about it, everybody talking about it, and the people that as kids grew up with it, so it's stuck in their head and they never went back and rewatched it. It's like, oh yeah, it was great. Nah, I don't think so. So out of curiosity, what do you think it is?
Well, let me let me ask a question, and that'll.
No. You already have something on your mind. I wanted to see if it's right.
Oh, is it the Crazies?
No, that's not Punching Up. No. That was one of my options too.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we're talking about a big film, like a classic film that everybody points to as a classic.
What, like Enter the Dragon or something?
No, like that, but not that. I'm going a bit more sci-fi.
73 sci-fi. I'm foggy on sci-fi in
Soylent Green, baby.
Oh,
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green. I won't give away the line because that's the we'll do it when we review it. But
oh yeah, just not giving anything away. The film came out in '73.
Yeah, but there's that sedated tiger again.
Stop that. So Soylent Green is a mixed bag on a lot of levels, and I think it's a great one to review.
So fucked up. Yeah, I mean, I've only ever seen that movie once.
And it's based on a science fiction novel called Make Room, Make Room.
Okay.
Which I've already started reading, so I can make a novelization or a novel to film adaptation comparison while we're reviewing it as well.
That sounds.
Because I always find that interesting, especially when it comes to.
I think I'm pretty sure I already own Soylent Green too. I think I have it. I think it is on my Plex, but if it's not, it should be.
Oh, I know I have it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take a quick look. So, very good. Soylent Green. Charlton Heston. I've only ever seen it one time.
Time for a revisit.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I have this motherfucker? Do I gots it? Does Lou gots it? And we're going to do that next week.
Correct.
No, I don't believe I have it. I'm going to have to get that.
Yeah, you will.
Yes, I am. How do I not have that movie?
All right, and we said we're going to keep it short this week, so we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up.
But I got to mention one thing.
Yes, sir.
One thing. I mentioned The Sting earlier.
Yes, you did.
Just watched it the other night with Holly.
I think that's 1974. I think.
Yeah, 74.
Okay.
Now, best picture, best screenplay, best director.
No, wait a minute. It can't be 74.
Maybe it was 73.
The reason why it wasn't 74 is because Godfather Part 2 won Best Picture in 74. So
Then maybe it was 73.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Before
we watched it, I was just had a couple minutes to spare, so I hit IMDb and just strolled through the trivia. So, I watched. I never really saw it all the way through. As a kid, you saw bits and pieces, not for kids' films, so not into it, didn't understand it. So Holly brought it up, so let's watch that. So I'm just lived through the trivia, and I was like, oh, it says here that Paul Newman, not Paul Newman, Robert Redford broke his thumb before filming, and so sometimes you can notice that he holds it oddly. All right. Ruined the fucking film for me.
Oh, because it's apparent.
Dude, the entire film, every time you see him in a scene, you can't not look at his thumb, because he's always holding it differently. And like, there's scenes where he's like when he's holding cards while they're playing, and he's holding them in his fingers. There's one time where he's using a fork with his fingers and his thumbstick. It's like you can't. There are scenes where just the way he carries himself, he's just like guarding his thumb. It's just because he was supposed to have a cast on it, but he would take the cast off or they didn't have one on.
Right.
And so, but dude, that whole film, I'm just watching the thumb. I'm barely aware of what's going on.
I haven't seen it in a long time. Now it's gonna fuck it up for me too.
Oh yeah, no, that's why.
Thank you, by the way.
That's why I'm telling you. This weekend, watch it and just you'll
it
be
came
amazed.
It came out Christmas Day, 1973. So.
Okay.
Yeah, they squeaked that in. I guess they were even doing that shit in the 70s. They squeaked that in right before Oscar nominations come out.
And it won.
Yeah, and it won.
And I'm almost convinced that thumb thing is why he didn't get Best Actor.
Oh, you think? Well, you think maybe they knew about it and they're like, yeah.
He was nominated.
No, I know.
Or was it Paul Newman? I'm pretty sure it was Robert Redford was nominated.
Who won Best Actor that year?
I don't know. I just know he was nominated. But man, just the thumb. Just follow the bouncing thumb. That's all that movie is.
Just So gross.
I just want to rename it the Thumb instead of the Sting.
The Thumb. Wow, it won 7 Oscars.
Right, but I mean the
Jeez.
big ones. It was
Picture, director,
screenplay,
art direction, costume design, film editing, and music.
You know what else the guy that wrote that screenplay wrote?
Hmm.
Major League 1 and 2 and King Ralph.
King Ralph, really?
Yeah.
With John Goodman.
Took a downturn after the Sting.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's see. I have to see who won. Oh, Jack Lemmon won Best Actor for Save the Tiger. I don't know if that's the right choice. I guess maybe it's the right choice.
Save the Tiger.
Yeah, Jack Lemmon for Save the Tiger. Al Pacino was nominated for Serpico. Jack Nicholson for The Last Detail.
Speak of overrated films. Fucking Serpico.
Marlon Brando for Last Tango in Paris, and Robert Redford for The Sting.
Tango. Yes.
Anyway,
So,
all right, let's end this. Let's end this shit. Cue the music. All right, everybody. As always, thank you again for joining us. Episode 301 for Moviesucktastic. Go to our website at moviesucktastic.com. Download the show there. Listen to the show there. Come and hang out with us live every Thursday at 8 o'clock. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/moviesucktastic. We put everything from movie trailers to when we go live to just whatever fancies us, movie-wise, entertainment-wise. You can go to our Tumblr page at moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. You can go to our iTunes page, which apparently iTunes is going away. Got to figure something else with that. Although I think I should start saying things like we're on Google Play for a podcast there. We're on iHeartRadio now. So apparently iHeartRadio is, they say it's the #1 way to get podcasts. I thought iTunes was, but apparently iHeartRadio is. We're on there now.
cool.
Yeah, we're all over, we're actually on a bunch of different great places like Stitcher and iTunes and iHeartRadio and Google. We're you can download our show on all of those. So if iTunes does go away, we do have other ways you can
it's
get
not
us.
going. They're restructuring.
Well, it's going to go to a paid streaming service.
There's a lot of. I don't know.
So it's like people are going to be paying for it, and then they're getting free podcasts. And I don't know how that works, or it's going to be separate.
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea. I have to actually read into it. You can leave us voicemail. The email address is themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can also leave us voicemail. If you do, we'll play it on the show. If you leave us email, we'll read it on the show. The voicemail is 908-514-4470. And you can download the 100% free app for your Android devices. Everything I said is in there. It is 100% free, and it's awesome. So go ahead and get that. And that's it for me. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
Thought you were from Cincinnati.
That tiger ain't sedated. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week when we review
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green. All right,
Got it
everybody.
right, didn't you?
I did not. That was pause for dramatic effect.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
You're not, but that's okay. I love you anyway. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye-bye. Later.